She ran through the forest, clutching the tiny, trembling dragon to her chest. Its scales were dull, its breaths shallow, its cries barely audible. Moonlight cut through the trees, glinting off its frail wings, and Lyra pressed it closer, whispering, "Hold on, little one. Just hold on." Fear thumped in her chest. Soldiers had burned her village, killed her family, and now anyone who saw a dragon would hunt it down. She had no home, no allies. Only this fragile life depended entirely on her. Lyra's own body ached from days without rest or proper food. She had once been a healer, trusted by dragons and humans alike, but betrayal had come swiftly. Humans feared what they did not understand. Her valley had been destroyed, her family slaughtered, and she had escaped with only this hatchling. She had walked 4 nights through forests and mountains, always hiding, always running. Her heart carried grief so heavy, it made each step painful, yet she could not stop. She could not let this little one die. The hatchling whimpered, lifting its weak head. Its eyes, though dim with illness, sought her face, and Lyra's chest tightened. Hunger and fear had hollowed its body, and some of its scales bore the marks of fire and broken stone. She kissed its forehead. "You are safe with me. I promise," she whispered. In that instant, she made a vow to defy every law, every soldier, every fate that had tried to crush them. In the distance, a village flickered with light. Lyra froze. Humans lived there, humans who would see her as a threat. Stories had warned her. Dragons were monsters, demons, harbingers of fire and death. But there was a healer in the village, a man skilled with herbs and remedies who could save life. Maybe even dragon life. She hesitated, then moved toward the door. Every step a gamble with destiny. The knock was soft, almost desperate. The door opened slowly, revealing an older man, his face lined with years and worry. "A dragon," he whispered, stepping back. Lyra nodded, eyes wide and pleading. "It's dying. Please, you must help it." She placed the hatchling into his hands. The dragon shivered, too weak to hold itself. The man's fingers hovered, hesitant, as if touching something sacred. "I've never healed a dragon," he admitted. Lyra's voice trembled. "Then please let me show you. It won't survive without help." The doctor's small cottage became their sanctuary. Lyra stayed close, feeding the hatchling tiny amounts of water and scraps of food, whispering lullabies she remembered from her valley. The doctor worked tirelessly, applying poultices, brewing herbal mixtures, murmuring healing chants older than time itself. Days passed slowly. The hatchling's breathing steadied, its eyes brightened, and its tiny claws flexed with renewed strength. Lyra dared hope, though fear lingered in the shadows. Soldiers could appear at any moment. Fate could strike again. One night, a shout shattered the quiet. Soldiers had tracked her. They screamed. The hatchling twitched, sensing danger, and let out a weak hiss. Lyra clutched it tighter. Her heart hammered. There was no choice, they had to run. She lifted the hatchling, and the doctor, though older and slower, followed as she dashed into the forest, branches tearing at her skin. Her shoulder grazed by an arrow. Pain shot through her, but she ignored it. She could not fall. She could not let her child die. They reached a clearing, a place Lyra remembered from happier days. Untouched by humans, she laid the hatchling on soft grass. The small body quivered. The soldiers were close now, shouting, demanding surrender. The hatchling opened its eyes, weak but defiant. A flicker of fire escaped its mouth. Tiny and uncontrolled, yet beautiful. The soldiers froze, stunned by the sight. They had never seen a dragon so small, so fragile, yet alive and radiant. Lyra fell to her knees beside it, tears streaming. "You are alive. You will survive," she whispered. The dragon pressed its head into her chest, a heartbeat of trust against her own. In that moment, the soldiers' hatred faltered. One by one, they lowered their weapons, unsure of what they witnessed. The doctor knelt, murmuring prayers and chants, attempting to strengthen the little dragon. Slowly, it lifted its wings. Tiny, trembling, catching the moonlight in flashes of silver and gold. Life surged through its body. But hope carries a price. A soldier, too quick and too late to hesitate, loosed an arrow. It struck the hatchling's wing. The dragon shrieked, ripping Lyra's heart in two. Without thought, she threw herself over it, taking the wound upon herself. Pain exploded through her shoulder, but she barely noticed, pressed to her child. The hatchling rested against her, small and trusting, its eyes shining with something powerful, something ancient. And then it happened. A surge of light, of magic, of life erupted from the hatchling. It glowed. Wings stretched wider, scales shimmering like molten gems. The soldiers staggered back, awe and terror in their eyes. This tiny creature, abandoned, starving, broken, now radiated raw power. A force no one could deny. It spoke softly, yet with weight, a word that carried thunder. Mother! Lyra wept, holding the hatchling to her chest. The soldiers dropped their weapons entirely, unable to act. The doctor whispered in amazement, witnessing the bond between human and dragon. A connection so strong it defied fear. The hatchling lifted its head, wings fully extended, fire and light spilling into the night sky. Not a roar of rage, but a declaration of life, of survival, of love that could not be destroyed. The soldiers fled, unable to comprehend what they had witnessed. The doctor remained, amazed and trembling, as Lyra held her child close. "We are safe," she whispered. "We survived together." Days passed. The little dragon grew stronger each day, scales gleaming, wings stretching farther. Lyra tended it, fed it, loved it. Slowly, the world began to change. Stories whispered in villages, not of fear, but of awe. Dragons were no longer monsters. They were life, fierce and loyal, bound to those who cared enough to risk everything. Lyra, once broken and hunted, now walked without fear. The doctor continued to learn, to heal, to witness miracles. Every night, as the dragon curled against her, she felt the power of trust, of sacrifice, of love. She remembered the dark moments, the betrayal, the fear, the hunger, but she also remembered the choice she made, to protect, to hope, to fight for life against impossible odds. In the end, the world learned a truth long forgotten. Strength does not lie in fear or power alone. True strength lies in courage, in compassion, in bonds that transcend species, walls, and hatred. A single act of love had saved them all, transforming despair into hope, weakness into magic, and fear into wonder. Lyra, holding the tiny dragon now grown, knew that no matter how dark the night, light could always return. Carried on the wings of a dragon who refused to die. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.